Not yet.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Wait. I have to make sure that we're good.
Are we good yet?
Okay, you need to move over this way, Shawnee. Right there. Stop.
I'll be right here.
Stop.
Stop. Hammer time.
Collaborate and listen. I suspect with a brand new edition.
Yes. Although I don't see like it.
You have to. Keep hitting refresh.
I see.
Until you see it, and it'll say, "See."
Live now.
Okay, here. Just don't hurt yourself.
I won't hurt myself. Ooh,
hey everyone. I will go fix that, Sean. Now remember,
actually don't, because then we'll miss out on the mercantile.
There is a little bit of a delay.
A little delay, I know.
Okay, is that better?
I don't know. We'll know in 30 seconds. There it is.
Is that better?
Yeah, I think so. Hello,
hey everyone, welcome. We'll give everyone a few minutes to join. Now remember, Sean, we are on a delay.
Yes, and also remember, we're not in a car. So,
okay.
We're just here.
All right, guys. Hello. So, all right. So first of all, remember, Sean, you need to look here though, not at this. No, it's not going to be hard. That's still too much.
I have to go down here to look at, down here to read and then look up.
Okay.
So when I'm down, I'm reading. If I'm up here, I'm not.
How does that look?
Let's find out. It's a couple of seconds. We're only like 3 seconds away.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Is that better?
Yeah, but where's the chat?
I can't with you today. Back up.
I know.
I love you, but back up.
I know it's big. You don't have to point it out.
Oh.
Oh my God, it's fat. Look at that.
Stop it right now. All right, I'm bringing the chat up so Shawnee can see chat because he's very worried that he's not going to see it. Okay, guys, so how is it going? I'll wait a few more seconds for people to join. I need to first know if you guys are ready for a very long... The reason we're inside is this is going to be a very long Ken from the car.
Is it going to be long? Long.
I guess they're always about an hour, huh?
Usually.
I'm sorry, I'm pouring my drink.
I made my drink. I offered, but
you never offered me.
I said, you want me to make one?
No, you got me a red cream soda, and I didn't want a red cream soda.
No, you said cream soda. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Isn't it the vanilla cream, though?
I can't with you.
I know. It is good.
All right, guys. So, let's start first with... Okay. I'm going to try to focus, but we'll see. So, first and foremost, before we do anything, I just want to let you guys know the links are down below for the Cricut stuff we're talking about. Mm-hmm. And what's going on. When you use these links, it helps compensate our channel.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. And we're going to be talking about some Cricut sales and deals. And then we're going to get into the epic Cancun dream nightmare. So let's first start. Oh my God.
No link.
No link?
Really, D? I didn't see links.
Oh no!
What happened?
Let me see if I can fix that. You guys, I'm telling you, there is a reason I'm scatterbrained, which will make so much more sense here in a few seconds. Let me see if I can add the links right now. Maybe I can. Let's see if we can. Hold, please.
Un momento, por favor.
What are you saying? Can you say stuff like that?
One moment, please.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that, though. Right?
I can't. Un momento.
Oh.
That means one moment.
Okay, you just welcome people and say, hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, beautiful.
I know everyone's like, where's the links? Well, that would be Ken's fault. Shocker! Why isn't it there? Why didn't it do it, Shawnee?
I don't know.
Command copy, right?
Right.
There we go. All right, let's see if it updates it. Un momento.
How do you know if it updates?
I don't know. We'll see.
You don't have to restart it, yeah?
I don't know. We're going to go look really quick.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back. We're going to close this one. Oh, I might have to.
No, not yet. Oh, Duran, he's very nice to me. Don't worry. It's all a goof. This whole thing's a goof. I swear.
Okay, we have to. We have to restart it. I am so sorry, guys. We'll be right back.
Jessica says she sees it.
What?
I see it. Welcome. I see it. Jessica, are you actually seeing it? Ooh, what happened?
I hit refresh. Oh!
There it is.
So if you don't see the links, you just hit refresh. Okay, we don't have to restart.
Oh, okay, no refresh.
Okay, guys. So let's first start on where is it? The links are down below. So if you don't see links, hit refresh and it will work on your laptop or computer or phone or whatever.
Yes.
All right, guys. So let's first start with the links and what those are all about. Okay. So Cricut Maker, or if you're a Cricut Maker fan, Cricut just released balsa wood. No. Yes.
Is it balsa wood or is it beechwood?
Beechwood? What's beechwood?
That was the stuff
That's birchwood.
Oh, birch. Sorry, beechwood. Beechwood age. That's one thing, and that's the stuff that they made from Anheuser-Busch and stuff.
All right.
I don't know.
So it's basswood they've released.
Basswood.
It's brand new, just came in the store today. They also released a glitter iron-on mesh, which is really cool. Just to let you guys know, my coupon code is KEN10. Right now, all maker materials are 30% off. All machine tools are 30% off. Nice. All cardstock is 30% off, okay?
Sweet.
So if you have Cricut Access, you get an additional 10% off. And then if you use my code, you get an additional 10% off. Right. So very good deals. You do not want to miss out.
Ooh.
Also, when we were gone, Cricut Cuties were released. So if you missed that video, they released, do you remember the colors?
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
I want to say the lilac, but lilac.
Yep.
And then some kind of a peach, I believe. Or
Flamingo.
Flamingo. So
yes.
It's kind of a flamingo-y.
So all the links are down below and the video where we show you those. And just to let you know, 3 mystery boxes came back into, I don't want to say service, but they're back. So go get them.
They're back.
I also have my Patreon and all that good jazz down there. All right, so Ken10. Thank you, Lisa. That was so nice of you. All right. So, are you guys ready for a very long Ken from the cart? Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
So the reason we are doing this Ken from the cart inside, 2 reasons. Number 1, it's freaking cold outside. And number 2, I can't explain the story without Sean's point of view.
This is true.
And, okay. So, yes, we will answer questions. I will be looking for questions. Make sure they're in caps. You guys all know Ken from the cart.
We know it's a question that way.
Yes, we know it's a question. And then you guys all know. Please, please, please help me get to 100,000 subscribers. We are short.
What are we? Yeah.
We are short actually a lot. Someone thought we were only short like 100, but we're not. We're almost short like 1,000 and some.
Maybe they meant
I wish we were only short 100, but that's not the case. All I want is this freaking play button. We're short 1,100 around. So please, please, please share the channel and get me to 100,000 and I can sleep better at night. Okay.
Yes, thank you much.
I would love that. All right, guys. So, hello from Puerto Rico. Okay.
Puerto Rico.
So, please use the links down below if you haven't bought your Cricut Cuties, all that stuff, because, we can't really announce. I said we would be able to announce it when we're back, but we can't yet because it's not official. But by using these links, a big, big, big announcement is coming soon. Very big. And stuff. So, yes, we are looking sun-kissed. All right, guys. So, yes, if you can get us to, are we having a chocolate meeting? Did I miss it? Nope. This is Ken's Creations. Are we supposed to be having a chocolate
meeting? You're the one that knows those. I don't know. I just play along.
Hi, Crafting and Stamping. All right, guys.
Hi, Crafting and Stamping. Hi.
Hi. Okay, guys. So, first of all, before I start this story, I need you guys to keep in mind a couple things. Number 1, and it's very, very important, I am in no way, shape, or form making fun of mental illness in any way.
Nope, not at all.
So the story that I'm going to read, you guys are going, it's not even believable. So number 1, I'm not making fun of that. Number 2, if you are someone that is dealing with mental illness, you need to get help because you'll understand here in a moment. And then third and most importantly, I hear you guys always say, oh my gosh, you're so lucky to have Sean. Oh my gosh, he's the best. And I think I lost sight of that over the past couple of years. And when I say I wouldn't be here today without him, I literally mean I wouldn't be here today without him. There was a few times where I would not have been, things could have went very bad for me. So I am very, very, very fortunate to have him and stuff. So anyways, you guys need to know that. So also please know that this story is very complicated. There's a lot of stuff. And you might not agree with some of my actions maybe in the beginning. I'm being very stuff. And I know that some of my business partners might be like, why is he telling this story? But I had to share it with you guys because it will clear up so much. So getting right in, I had so many of you guys reaching out to me when I was on vacation worried. Why are you not posting? Normally when Sean and I go on a vacation, we share our lives. We share selfies, we share photos and everything like that. And we didn't do that.
I think I have 10 photos. That's it. And one video.
Oh, that was the other thing. Please do not judge me because I'm going into a lot of details I've never shared with you guys. I'm being pretty transparent. I'm a pretty private person when it comes to my personal life and I don't share that with you, but in order for the story to make sense, I need to share that with you guys and stuff. So anyways, anything. I know you actually took a vacation. So as many of you guys know, we, or I, years ago, 18 months ago, I'm sorry, I'm really nervous telling the story and I don't know why. Probably because it's a really scary story, you guys. Wouldn't you say, or?
I wouldn't go scared. It was one, eye-opening, and two, just, it was so unreal bizarreness to it all. I don't say...
It was a movie. It felt like it was a movie.
Almost, yeah.
So anyways, and I jump around a lot because it is a really... It's a hard story and just the way everything played out and stuff. It makes me really very, very happy to have what I have. So I'm going to be all over the place, emotional, not emotional. I'm going to try to remember the story as best as I can tell it. He might have to fill in some pieces. So,
sure. All
right, let's just start. I'm so nervous about this. I don't even know why I'm telling this story besides it will clear up so much of what's happening.
Right.
Okay.
You cannot hear me. Sorry, Debbie. I'm not a loudspeaker.
And I'm sorry. Thank you for my admins who are deleting stuff. If there is anything appropriate, I'm so sorry. So, all right, guys. So you guys all know I'm with, obviously, Trocador. And we had a trip for Cancun. And leading up to this trip, it has been complete chaos. If you look at the series of events, it goes all the way back to when I left my job in Maine at Washington Trust. When I left my job at Washington Trust, it was just me. I was super nervous about it. Are we going to be able to afford it? What are we going to do? Right. And as soon as I left, it's almost like Ken's Creations kind of went into hyperspeed. Yeah, and I was doing so much. I was doing Cricut and Silhouette and business partners, and Sean kept saying, you need to say no, you need to say no, you need to slow down, you need to take time for yourself, you are doing too much, you need to hire an assistant, just so on and so forth. But I'm always about my viewers and taking care of you guys and my community and making you guys happy, and I will sacrifice everything else outside of that. So we quit. Right when I quit the bank, we went to Silhouette. When we got back from Silhouette, we went to Cricut. I went to Cricut Make-a-thon by myself. Got back from Cricut Make-a-thon. We went to Trocador Convention together. Got back from Trocador Convention. Then I went to Florida with Megan. Got back from Florida. Then we went to...
What month are we in now?
That would have been July-ish. Then I would have went to Seattle or back to New York, right?
Yeah, you did the New York trip.
Get back from New York trip, go on a cruise with Chalk Couture, get back from cruise Chalk Couture, and then boom, we're in November, December. Keep in mind, throw in Ray Dunn shopping, throw in me, my Chalk Couture audience growing, my Cricut, and then everyone. And I don't mean to upset any of you guys, but to also having my viewers pull me in 100 different directions. We want you to do more product reviews. We want you to do more cards. We want you to do this, not to do this. So I'm already struggling with that. It's Christmas time. We get back from October. That would have been Halloween. And then we're full-fledged Christmas time. During that time, there was a big kind of, not a falling out with my family, but my family and I had to have a big coming to because they haven't been seeing me. And there was this perception that you think you're more important than us, and it was because you're always bragging on Facebook or this. We were trying to change the Christmas around, but it didn't. It was weird. And then all of a sudden it was Christmas and our house was full. And this whole time it's like, you know, kind of like how you're underwater and you're just trying to catch your breath.
Yep.
That's what it felt like. And I'm sorry if I'm talking fast and all that stuff, but so essentially we're going on all these trips and people are like, oh, you're traveling. And it's like, well, we are, but it's not for pleasure ever. It's always business.
I would say 85% of all the travel we've done so far has all been for work.
Yes. Yes.
Do we have fun there? Yeah, of course we're going to have fun, but it's work.
Yeah. So during this process, of course, I'm gaining weight because I'm not eating well. I'm not sleeping well. I'm not taking care of myself. My muscles are tight. I have all these pain and my pain's increasing. And he keeps on saying, you and Allison, my best friend's like, you need to get a second phone for you, or you need to do, and I have Jasmine, but she's just getting on and stuff.
Sure.
This will all make sense why I'm going into all these details. So at the end of the year, I'm looking at my life and I'm like, Sean's my guy, right? We go all the way back to 2000 or 1999. And there's a lot of stuff in our relationship people don't know. They don't know our history. They don't know any fights we've had. They don't know if I'm keeping secrets for him, if he's keeping secrets for me. In any relationship, there's just things that you don't put out there in the public. You just kind of keep close to you. And not a lot of people know, Allie knows and stuff, but it was just the reason that will make sense to you in a little bit. But I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like it's just a relationship. But you guys see a different version. You see me always taking charge and controlling, and you see Sean just being, I want to make Kenny happy and stuff. So you guys got to understand, Sean really lets me do everything. Bills, finances, travel arrangements, everything. He gets to just show up to the videos, do his thing, and then he's done. I take care of everything. Which I wanted it that way. That's never because he didn't want to do it. It's just Kenny takes charge. That's Kenny.
You gave me the bills one time, and I did
that was not good.
I did okay for a little while, and then it kind of went crazy.
So anyways, so Christmas comes, then it's New Year's, you guys. And I'm thinking, okay, new year, new beginning. So I'm already like going, right?
Yep.
So you guys all know that Sean and I go to counseling. We've gone to counseling, and the big thing in counseling has always been Ken needs to learn how to deal with death, because my mom died, I didn't deal with that well. Maya died when we were in convention, didn't deal with that well. He needs to enjoy the moments that he has with people because he's missing out, right? So the New Year's comes, and I'm thinking it's a new year, right? But we go 4/4 already. A week after, we had a big New Year's Eve party here with my friends, and then a week later, we're in leadership.
California.
And it's like, I'm hotter than hot. I'm sweating. It's just hot down there. It just was, and then we get back for 4 days.
Yep, turn around.
And but during that 4 days, I had planned on Jessica, my good friend Jessica Douglas Wilson, was staying here. And I figured this will be my time to unplug. But Chalk Couture Canada launched, and so we didn't get that. And then we were at Creativation.
Yep.
Creativation was like an alternative universe because it was so different from last year. And not a lot of companies in the past 2 years talked to us where this one was like constant, like do a video, do here, which was a compliment.
Yes, it's a
but
great
I was
compliment.
like, Sean, what do? I don't already have enough time for what I'm doing, and now I'm doing all of this stuff. I know I'm rambling. I will get there.
Like she says, yeah, it's for mix and relax time.
And the reason I'm drinking is so I don't just halfway through say I'm not doing this and delete the video. Okay, so we get back from Creativation, and that would have been middle of January, and then boom, February comes, and it's catalog launch.
Yes, it is.
And it is chaos. It's good chaos, but it is a lot of excitement and orders, and my team's growing, and all of this stuff. And when I get, and Sean, I'll let Sean explain this, when I get to my max, what happens with you?
To me?
How do I treat you?
You treat me bitey.
I get bitey, I get short because I'm so maxed out, so he'll come. And so this brings us kind of up to current because we get through February, and all of a sudden at the end of February it's Cancun time. And I kept telling him, like, something is wrong with Cancun. I don't know what's wrong, something bad's gonna happen. And I kept telling him we couldn't find our passports. If you guys saw the if you guys saw my last Ken from the car, you'd be like, I told you the passport story. And we couldn't find my passports. And I'm usually pretty in control of trips. Like, I'm checked in, but we had, and let me, before I even do this, I need to stress this. What happened is not anyone's fault. It's not Chalk Couture's fault. It's not, it could be the travel, but the reason I'm saying that is if any of you guys watch it from Chalk Couture, I loved it, but it will explain so much.
Yeah.
So anyways, so the trip time comes, we literally 3 days before, can't find the passports, and never before, usually I'm freaking out, tearing apart the house, and I literally look at Sean and I was like, if we don't go, we don't go.
After all that, we're not going.
I was like, we don't go. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. And we end up finding them, but I'm like now getting superstitious, and I'm like, maybe this is a sign that we don't go. Maybe it's a sign that we don't go, right? So I'm pretty stressed. Sean's like, we're going. We have our passports. I will do the packing for you. So I usually do all of my own packing because I'm a control freak and I want to have everything there and I want to know exactly where everything is and I want my medications to be all done right and everything, right? So that leads us to the night before our trip. You guys, please don't judge me after this. So, Sean, I take medication, as does everyone.
Sure.
And I take my medications throughout the day. I don't like taking all my medications at night or in the morning. You guys know I have ADHD, so I take a Vyvanse in the morning, which is a medication to help me focus and get things done. Throughout the day, I take stuff for my pain, and then at night, I told you this before, antidepressants, they changed mine in October. And so what I normally do is I just take down all my medication with me. What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I saw Irene. Please turn on subtitles because I'm hearing impaired. I can't read alive, I'm sorry. Okay, so Sean has always told me, please don't take your medications with you. Just
not all of them.
Not all of them. Just take what you need to take. And I've always been, nope, I want it all there because I want it. And so normally I have a pill organizer that says this is what you take in the morning, this is what you take in the afternoon, and here's what you take in the evening. And so that way I get so busy, you guys, I get so crazy that it's my way of at 11:30 I take this, at 2 I take this, and at 5 o'clock I take this. And it's, oh, I've already taken it. And this was all Sean's idea because there was a time where he'd be like, did you take your medication? I'd be like, and this was like a year and a half ago. And I'd be like, I don't know. And he's like, you really need to organize this because if you're so busy and you're forgetting, that's not good. So we get to this point. He literally says, I'm packing everything. You pack your medication. And I said, okay. So I start breaking down my medication. He goes, no. Just take what you need. And I was like, whatever, Sean. So he heard whatever. But then I was like, he has a point. I'm going to Mexico. who knows what could happen. Normally I break it down into them days. I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We were there
Tuesday through Sunday.
Tuesday through Sunday. So normally I'd have my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
In days with it labeled saying here's Monday, here's Tuesday. And then I carry it around in my backpack and take it whenever I need to.
Sure.
This time I was so paranoid going to Mexico for whatever reason because someone had said if your medications do not match your bottles, you can be in trouble. So you really need to make sure everything matches.
Right.
So I put them all back in their bottles, only took what I needed to take down, packed them, put them in me, and we're off. We get to the airport, happy-go-lucky, we get to Seattle, and they're like, your plane's going to be delayed 2 hours because...
Well, we didn't know it first. We literally were supposed to go from off our plane, Florida plane, and it was right next door. We get there, there's no plane. Where's the plane? Overhead. The plane's over in the hangar getting ready. Okay, good. It'll be over in a few minutes. Still no plane. Still no plane. Then it ends up, it'll never be ready. Now we have to find a plane. They found a plane 2 hours later in Texas coming in.
Normally, I too would be freaking out with Sean because Sean is like usually like, he was like, why does this always happen to me? And for whatever reason, I am just kind of like, we'll get there when I get there. Like, I'm just like, nothing is phasing me at this moment, but I'm in a lot of pain. I'm in a lot of neck pain and back pain just because I tense up and stuff. So we finally get on a plane and the time changes, of course. So we're now 3 hours ahead of time and we get to Cancun. And for anyone that's never been to Mexico, it's just a different, this is my first time ever going to Mexico, actually in Mexico. We've been in a port, but we've never been in Mexico. It's just a different world. It's not bad. It's just guys with machine guns. No big deal, right? You're just driving, all of a sudden you see a guy with a machine gun and ammo around them, and I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
So we get to the party late.
We get there about 8:15.
And we were supposed to be there.
Well, we were original time was 4:30. We didn't get there until 7-ish. Takes an hour from the airport to get to the Barcelona resort. And by the time it was there, it was 8:15. We had a get-together reception at 8, so we were a few minutes late when we got there.
Where are your microphones? We can't do them, can we?
It's hard.
You might just have to talk louder then. I don't know.
I'll just talk louder.
So. Okay, so anyways, we get there late, okay? And so all of our friends have already been drinking at this point, having fun, and they all come up to me because they know I'm a picky eater. And they came up and they said, you are going to hate it here.
The food sucks.
The food sucks. All it is seafood, and there's these ravers. And I was like, what are they talking about? Well, Chocator booked us a resort at the, I always say this wrong, the
Riviera Maya Grand Resort.
Not knowing that this was the same weekend a huge electronic festival was going on with how many people?
Over 4,000.
4,000 people. And this is like rave music, like club.
Bass Nectar was the lead.
So we're talking people that like, you go to the club like Studio 69, but with harder drugs, right?
It's like pounding bass.
This will make sense later.
Oh, just because it was over 5,000.
5,000, right?
There you go.
But they were not there yet. So we all went to bed that night, right? And it was fine. I unpacked all of my stuff. And since he packed, I wanted to unpack because I like to know where everything is. He makes me put all of my medication in the floor safe because he doesn't want anyone to ever take it because he is petrified of just things going missing. So we go to bed, we put in our earplugs, turn on our white machine, and we wake up in the morning thinking,
no problem.
And we go see my friends, and they're all like, "Oh my gosh, did you?"
That was the
Oh no, that was okay. So we go, we eat. The food is not
so subpar. It's
not good. But we had to go to shopping that day.
Yeah, shopping was on Wednesday.
So everyone's already saying like, the rooms weren't what we were thinking. The food wasn't what we were thinking. This is weird. And we know that the CEO of Chocator is amazing.
Yeah, she is.
Her name's Christine. She cares about her designers. She wants to make sure everyone's always happy. She wants to make sure everything's, in order. I had the utmost respect for her. Like I respect her. It's just amazing. So but I'm telling people because we've never been to an all-inclusive resort. We have no idea. And people are like, and so they're telling us like, this is not what an all-inclusive is usually like.
No.
Food's usually good. Rooms are super nice. All of this stuff. And so they can't figure it out, but we had to get going to shopping. Mm-hmm. So we go shopping. We go down to someplace in Mexico.
We went to Playa del Carmen.
Playa del Carmen. And here's the deal. Did you know in Mexico you can buy all sorts of amazing medication that I did not know you could buy?
Pharmacy. It's just a pharmacy.
Well, pharmacies here are like you buy ibuprofen. You buy this, okay? So Sean's like, well, if you want to buy stuff, it's not illegal. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, but are you really sure? And he's like, no, you can take so much across the border. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's a thing, and that's what people do, because there's a lot of older people that go into Canada or Mexico, buy their drugs because they can't afford it in the States, and that's what they do. So I'm already, like...
sketchy about it.
So I'm, like, buying stuff shaking. Like, I'm so nervous, you guys. I'm like, okay. And there was a gentleman there, and I won't go into any names, but there was a gentleman there that lived somewhere, and he had police shirts on and stuff like that because he has a lot of friends in the police force.
One of his good friends is a cop. Yeah.
So that didn't matter. I didn't think he was a police officer or anything, but that comes later on. So we're done. This shopping trip was not good. We just need to get back. And by the time we get back, everyone was in the pool drinking. Mm-hmm. I was in so much pain. My neck hurt and stuff like that. So in Washington State, we can buy, marijuana is legal here. It doesn't matter for recreational or for medical. So I bought some gummies for pain, if I get pain, because sitting in an airplane to go from Spokane to Cancun was a 7-hour flight.
Almost 6 hours.
Almost 6-hour flight. So sitting in a plane that long, if you have neck and back pain, is horrible, okay? So, oh no, not that, hide them. I don't know. You're gonna have to keep up the questions because I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I get back and I was like, well, people say marijuana helps with pain. I'll just take it. Mm-hmm. Didn't help. Took it. There could have been some in the pool, but there was no like hard drugs. So I take that, and then I decided to make the bad decision of drinking on top of it. After being in all day, beating down sun, no water, because you can't drink the water down there. You have to buy bottled water.
No buy, it's all free.
It's all, no, but not in the shopping trip. And so Sean knows, like, I always have a big thing of water near me. And so every time I get thirsty, he's like, you can't drink the water, Kenny. You have to go buy bottled water. So I'm already dehydrated. So we're in the pool. We're having a great time. And things start not making sense to me. And I'm just like... But I'm still talking, having fun, joking around, and right about nightfall is when they come.
All the ravers.
Sean called them ravers. Other people called them the Zoomers, because this festival was called the Deja Zoom, right? Boom. Okay, Deja Boom. And so you can look it up. But at this point, they're all coming because at this point, up to this point, it was just us in the pool, right? So I remember being in the pool with my friends. I knew everyone that was there. But my reality starts changing. Okay? Well, then this guy comes up and says, hey, do you want a Lego shovel? Mm-hmm. And we're all like, and at this point, guys, I am just like...
Post-toasties.
I'm toasted because I've been drinking. I took those edibles for my pain. So I look at him and I said, I love Legos. I love Legos. I build them at home, and Sean's like, oh, this is not good. And so he goes down this thing of what he uses the Legos for. We're like,
he doesn't say. As soon as I saw a back foam, I knew immediately what it was for. It's like, oh, this is so you can scoop your cocaine and sniff. That's what it's for. That's the whole ordeal of that.
So I don't know this. I'm just thinking, I love Legos. I build all sorts of buildings. They're my favorite. So he's like, do you want one? Sean's like, no, he does not. Thank you. We leave, right?
He did not take raver candy.
I did not take raver candy, just so you know. Did not take any drugs besides what I brought, which is legal here. It's not a big deal. It was just marijuana. So, you guys, at this point, I mentally am so confused what's happening because he's making me leave because we're scared, not scared, but we
just don't need to be
all of a sudden there's 5,000 young people wearing psychedelic-y shirts, carrying around boom boxes with this music that's like boom, boom, and like all over, and I just am like in my own little world, like, and I kept looking at Sean like, what is happening, Sean?
What is happening?
What is happening? So we go back to our hotel rooms. Yep. We say we need to eat dinner.
We did.
But I'm already at this point kind of not sure what's happening because I drank so much I was dehydrated and I had taken that marijuana for this, right? So it's a perfect storm at this point. So I go on with my night. We go to the buffet. Not good.
Still crap food.
But not only is it crap food, now there is a ton of people.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? But I'm still lucid to where I know who Sean is. I know what's happening. You say, why would you not be lucid, Ken? Oh, don't worry. We figure that out later. Oh, so they all eat dinner. There's a lot of seafood. I don't eat seafood. So I'm like, I will just eat.
Big Brand had about 300
shrimps. But so he's eating 300 shrimps. Other people are kind of drunk and doing their own thing, right? Well, a good friend of ours got into a fight, and they were not together, and this person got frustrated and kind of pushed over a chair, right? So
table, another chair.
So they need to come with us, and I am like, what is happening? Like, I kept saying, like, what is happening? And so Sean's like, we're going to take him to our room so this way he doesn't get in trouble. Because obviously for your friends, you're gonna help them. Mm-hmm. So I'm already kind of like not with it. There's all these people around me that I don't know. All of a sudden, Sean is gone because he's going to the room and I'm smuggling this person into our room so that way security doesn't know he pushed over a chair. You guys
go down the hall, turn around, and come in the back way of our back door so the security people can't find them.
So then all of a sudden, I'm in my room just standing there and Sean's like, are you gonna go take a shower? And I was like, with who? And he's like, yourself. And I'm like,
yes, you got sunscreen on, you got sweaty.
And I'm like, I am not having a threesome. And he's like,
no.
No, what are you talking about? So he just figured like, okay, Ken's had too much. He's acting weird. So then we go to dinner. Yeah. We go to bed. Yeah. Ken puts in his earplugs.
I put on the white
noise. We had a great night. Fell asleep.
Yeah, fell asleep. No problem. Get up.
We wake up in the morning to all of these texts of, oh my gosh, do you see what's happening? What is going on? Who's knocking on our door?
Kicking.
Why is there blood everywhere? And I am like, what is happening?
What is happening here?
What is happening? So Sean's like, it's fine. No big deal. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah. That's all I kept saying.
Jessica has video of it, of them kicking in her door. And it was right across the way.
No, I'm talking to you guys. So the concert hasn't started yet. So you have all of these people at the club on who knows what drugs. Playing loud music, kicking in other people's doors. Screaming, getting in fights. There's blood everywhere. There was people trying to get in. Another one of our friends was there by herself. And they're like trying to knock into her door. So imagine how scared you are. Ken slept through it all. So I have no recollection of what happened. Mm-hmm. Sean does. He's like, oh no, I heard them. But you know me, I just went back to sleep. No big deal. And I'm like, literally, I'm like, Sean, what is happening? And he's like, it's fine. It'll be fine. And so once again, our friends are like, this is not all-inclusive, guys. We are so sorry that this is your first experience. This is not how it's supposed to be. They keep like apologizing. And I just keep saying, what is happening? Like, and I kept telling Sean, I'm like, something is wrong. I don't know what is happening. And Sean's like, it's fine. They'll figure it out.
So then we have our meeting.
So then we have a meeting. And they choose this. So the resort we're at has a whole bunch of different parts of the resort. There's a beach. Caribe. Colonial, and then the palace. Tropical, and the palace. When we checked in late at night, there was a language barrier. So I was like, I can't understand them. So Sean's like, let's just get to our room. This is the first night. Sorry to go back, but this is important to the story. All I knew on this map was, you're in the beach, here's the palace, big X through the palace. You cannot go to the palace, stay out of the palace. And I was like, okay. hey, don't go to the palace. So that's important. So we wake up the morning, we're gonna go to a meeting, and it's at the palace. And I was like, okay, so we can go to the palace. And Sean's like, just for the meeting. So I'm now at this point.
The meeting's at the Carib.
Oh, the Carib.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
So I'm already confused. I'm like, we're at the beach, there's a Carib, but we can go everywhere, but we can't go to the palace. And I'm already not feeling good because if anyone has ever done an edible, the very next day after an edible, you kind of feel like you're in a dream state, right? Which is normally fine because you know, like I did this, but I was not feeling particularly good, but I didn't know why. And I kept telling Sean, I don't feel good. And he's like, it's fine. You just need water, right?
Sure, which we got water.
Yes. So we get to the meeting, and Christine, who is amazing, gets up on stage. No. First of all, she says, hey guys, we're running a little bit late. They were supposed to have our meeting at 9. It's going to be more about 10 because they didn't have things set up. Yep. And Jeff had this whole segment. Jeff is our president of the company. And she goes, he's not here because of Montezuma's revenge, which I didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, well, it sucks for him. And then come to find out later that means
diarrhea.
Yes, because you drink the water, right?
Or something, yes. Okay.
So then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're going to play Family Feud. Mm-hmm. And I'm already kind of like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I think it's right. And so at that point, I'm going off the reactions of other people. So if Sean doesn't laugh at me and I said something okay, because you guys know me, I can be inappropriate. And I already feel like I'm like drunk and high, but I didn't take anything and I didn't know why. And things weren't making sense. And I was like, but everyone kept saying, it's fine, Ken, it's the ravers. And you didn't get sleep. And I was like, that makes sense. So I get on stage, it's Family Feud. And I just remember someone saying, our fuzzing towel is the new thing, and...
Name something fuzzy.
And of course they made me be team captain. So I'm like already paranoid, and I'm like, a bear. And it wasn't an answer, right? And I'm like, bears are fuzzy. Wasn't an answer. And I'm like, so I start singing. I go, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, and Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair, so Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. I was like, damn it! He wasn't fuzzy! Yeah. And everyone started laughing, and I was like, they know. They know something's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me, but they know.
Yeah. It was fine. So
we finished the rest of this game, and we had to take a photo.
Yes.
Right?
We had to do a photo.
But then, oh, no, I'm sorry. I skipped ahead a little bit. So before the game, Christine was very nice and said, hey, guys, we did not know this big concert was happening. No. We know that there's a lot of drugs being passed around. We are so sorry. This was not our intention. Normally, it's courtesy of a hotel to say we have a big event. They are literally infiltrating the entire hotel. Every room is booked with them. Yeah. We're talking hundreds of people in each pool. Thousands of people in each pool.
It seemed like it.
And she's like, we will talk to the hotel. We will take care of this. Blah, 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 right? Yep. And all I kept saying is, Sean, what is happening? So then we go...
We take our
pictures. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, this pool is so nice. Because we were at the Tropical or the Carib.
The Carib, I think, yeah.
This pool's so nice. Because the pools in our area were not, they were okay.
They were fine.
But the pool here was really nice. So
really big.
We want to come back to this pool.
Had a nice swim-up bar.
Yes.
Yep.
So we come back to that one. And I'm already thinking like, where are we? Like, why aren't we in the pool yesterday? Sean takes video of people. Sean, who does not drink, decides to take shots and get drunk.
I really never got drunk all the time.
He ended up in a fountain, guys, going, woo!
I'm trying to get that video. I was not drunk. It was just fun. It was there, so I just got in.
It was fun. It was fun. I just got in. So everyone is already pretty tipsy at this point. Mm-hmm. We decide to go back to our hotel room. Mm-hmm. I'm really not feeling good. All of a sudden, someone is speaking in Dolphin. I'm like, what is happening? Why is someone speaking in Dolphin? That was when, remember, there was dolphins in the enclosure. Oh. And someone said, I can speak Dolphin, watch. And they start speaking Dolphin. And I was like, what is happening? So we get back to the hotel room, you guys, and I have to express here. At this point in the vacation, I am literally paranoid because I'm like, something doesn't feel right with me, but I don't know what. And I'm like, it's gotta be. So I go to Sean, who never takes gummies because he doesn't have pain. He's like, it's probably the gummies. And I'm like, he's probably right. The next thing I know, I hear from Christine, oh my gosh, guys, we're getting moved to the rooms.
That was right after dinner.
Right after dinner. And everyone's like, but you have to respond within 90 minutes if you want to get moved. So I'm like, yes, we want to get moved. And then this is where my trip goes really, 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 really bad. This is what night?
Thursday night, we had dinner at the hibachi at Tokyo and had hibachi, which was really good. That was a great dinner.
So even at hibachi, I'm not feeling right. Like Jessica had to order off my menu. And Jessica's at this point... So for those of you who don't know if she's still in there, she was stamping and... Oh, it gets way worse, guys. Wait for it. This is a dream so far. So she's already thinking like, something's not right with Ken, but that's okay. She's like, you don't like seafood? And I'm like, I don't. And then all of a sudden I'm like looking at Mandy, who's like, you know, my upline, and I'm like, hi, how are you? Who are you? And she's like, what is going on with Ken? Mm-hmm. And Sean's just having a good time, right? Mm-hmm. So we leave Hibachi's, and then all of a sudden it was like, we have to move, get packed. And so I am like standing in my room like, what? And all I can say is I kept saying, what is happening? What is happening? And Sean's like, you're fine, I'll do the packing. So he does all the packing. Mm-hmm. The next thing I know, he's like, we gotta leave, check our room. And I'm like, what is happening? No, Sean, what is happening? It's like,
we're moving on up.
We're moving on up to something in the sky. And I'm like heaven? And he was like, no. And I was like, delete that comment. I don't want to go there. He's like, what? You want to go here? It's nicer. Well, we get to the lobby, and basically Christine, once again, amazing CEO, said, I'm so sorry, guys. This is not what we agreed to. When we came down, it was top of the line, beautiful rooms, amazing food, amazing excursions. I feel like they did a bait and switch. And then come to find out, because this hotel agreed to this massive ravers party,
which was scheduled 3 years ago.
3 years ago. They didn't tell Chacator. They downgraded the boot because they're not going to bring out all their good food for all of these tweakers. And if you're a tweaker, I apologize. I don't mean any disgust. You do you. You live your life. But anyways, so she's like, this all makes sense. She says, however, here's the bad news, guys. We cannot all get into the same hotel room. They literally have taken up so much room that we have to separate you into different rooms. Because normally when we go to these things, we're all grouped together so we know my friend's next door, this person's across. Sure. So she's like, you guys are going to be in different places.
But away from the concert. Because the concert was more towards that one spot. So by pushing it all the way down to the other end of the thing, we shouldn't hear them for a lot less.
So I'm sitting there and Sean's explaining to me, and he was like, Ken, you're number 6 on the list, so we're going to the palace. And I am like, literally, anytime someone said something to me, I would go, what is happening? What is like, no, seriously, what is happening? Where are we going? Why are we going somewhere? And Sean's like, you're fine. It's just, and then all of a sudden they said, some people won't be with us. So some of our friends that we love won't be at the palace with us. At this point, I have no idea. I'm like, we can't go to the palace. Sean's like, we can go to the palace. So they put us all on a bus. And everyone's like, do not freak out when people get off because we don't want people feeling bad that they're not in the palace versus this. And
right. But
so
they figured they did say this is how we had to do it.
So this is how we had to do it. So everyone knew what was going on. Except for Ken. Ken is on another planet this time. So people would leave. And I'd say, Sean, what is happening? And he's like, Ken, because you were so high on your points, you get to go to the palace and they're going to go here. That's the fair way to do it. And I'm like, so they're dying? And he's like, what? No. He's like, they're just getting off here. But every time we stop, because you would stop. You'd start at the beach. We would go a little bit, stop at this resort, go a little bit, stop at this resort, go a little bit, stop at this resort. We're the last resort. So in my mind, all I see is people getting off the bus and all of a sudden there's just a few of us left. And I'm like, so once everyone's off, this guy who thinks he's being funny is like, we're going to the top. It's like heaven. And it is. We get to the palace and it is
gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Amazing. But we're already, these guys that are lucid and with it and don't know what's going on with me yet are all like, we need to figure out how to get our friends that are in different resorts up to here because it's beautiful and it's everything we envisioned and it was amazing. Yep. And I'm just looking around being like, what is happening, guys? No, seriously, what is happening? Why are we here? Why did we move? And everyone's like, just get him to bed. He'll be fine. because everyone was separate at this point. People were in different rooms, and this resort is huge. Like, it feels like you're walking forever, right?
Yeah.
So they all leave me, and this is where it gets bad, everyone. So at this point, it has been 3 days since I took the edibles, or 2.
About 2.5.
So it should be out of my system. And so I think Sean's now finally registering something is not right with Ken at all. But he can't figure out what's going on. So he's just like, let's go back to the room.
Beautiful room.
Beautiful room, and just go to bed. We go to bed, and an hour, I'm literally all night I'm doing this to him. And I'm like, where are we?
Question after question after. On every question he asked, every single question he asked, he knows the answer to them. He knows plain as day. He knows the answer to them. But he kept asking him, where are we? Who's this? Who's that? Why is this here?
Carmen,
why isn't this here? Blah, blah, blah.
So in Washington, to answer your question, because it is making sense. So basically, in Washington,
and other states
marijuana is legal, so they put it in edibles. Because I don't smoke marijuana, I don't like it. But edibles will help people with pain. They'll help people with anxiety.
They do them in gummies, like little chocolates. They do them in liquid.
And normally, I just take like a little piece, and it takes away my pain, and I'm happy. So if you missed that part of the story, I had taken enough of that I should not be in any pain. So Sean's thinking at this point, he just needs to come down. You guys, it went from where are we to literally like, I tap on Sean and say, Sean, where are we? And he'd go, finally he was like, you know where we are. I want to sleep. I don't know what's going on with you. And he lets it, he doesn't yell at me, but he literally was like, sir, he goes, you are not acting yourself. You're saying weird things. People don't know what's happening with you. So in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not myself. What is happening? And I go full paranoid. So he goes back to bed, right? And I grab my phone. And if I wish my phone's up there, but I'm literally turning volumes up. So it takes our white noise and goes from like a, and Sean's like, what are you doing? Like, he's very nice to me, but he was very stern. Like, I don't know what's going on with you. You need to go take a bath. All of a sudden, I go to the bathroom and I have diarrhea so bad. And Sean goes, you must have Montezuma's revenge. Did you drink the water? And I was like, I don't know, Sean, what is happening? And then he leaves and I was like, Montezuma's in our room? Where is Montezuma? Where is he? Where is Montezuma? And Sean is like, what are you doing now, Kenny? I was covering the mirrors. I was like, he's somewhere in here, Sean. I don't know what's happening. He's going to get us. And then all hell breaks loose. I'm like, I don't know who this is. What is this? I'm going through my phone trying to piece it together because he had told me you're not yourself. And at this point, I don't know anything. I got to pictures, and this is, I hope I don't cry, but I got to pictures, and right before February 17th, I posted a video of my mom's, just in memory, and I kept watching it, and I'm like, who is this? And Sean's like, this is your mom, Kenny. Oh my God, I can't wait to go home and see her. She's dead. And I'd be like, what? What do you mean she's dead? Like, it's not funny because I would start breaking down and hyperventilating and I didn't understand it. And he was like, what is happening with you? Like, what is going on with you? And I am like, so he kept on saying, you need to go take a bath. And then I'd sit in the bath and I would literally look up at the showers and I'm like, oh my gosh, we are in a gas chamber and that is where the gas is gonna come from. We're all gonna die. So I would stay in the bath for like a minute, get out and tell Sean, we need to leave. We're gonna get gas like they did in the Holocaust. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I literally, after everything, would be like, Sean, what is going on? I would hear people in the hallway. I would go tape the door shut. I heard noises. What else was happening? Because I don't remember a lot of this.
Well, most of it's just a little, you know how any place that's got a lot of people, you're going to hear this, that, and the other. It's like you normally would just pass it off. But he was so hypersensitive to every little sound.
Right? And so he's seriously like, not being mean, but he's like, what is wrong with you? What is happening? And I'm like, I don't know, Sean. I'm crying. I don't know. And in my mind, I'm like, maybe this is a movie. Maybe I'm dreaming. So then I'd wake up and I'd literally go, where are we? And he's like, I have answered that for you 15 times. I'm not going to answer that for you. And I'm like, we're in a dream. Like, this is not real. And then he's like, no, it's real. And I was like, and then I got paranoid.
So I got maybe an hour and a half of sleep.
So all of a sudden, at this point, I'm getting really, really bad. He's like, fine, I'll just get up. So he gets up, and this is like, what, 3 o'clock in the morning?
5-ish.
5 in the morning, right?
It's Friday morning.
Friday morning. And he's like so mad at me, he won't talk to me, and he's trying to figure it out. So he goes to play with his drone, because when he went to use his drone the day before, it wouldn't work. He turns it on, and the drone goes beep, 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 and I yell, oh my God, it's a bomb. I run into the bathroom and shut the doors and won't let him in. Right? And Sean's like, it is not a bomb. And I was like, you don't know that? People that got on the plane didn't know they were going to be flown into the World Trade Center, and now they're dead, and oh my God, that's us. That's us. We're living that day. This is like someone telling us not to get on the plane. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I am like, where's my mom? And she's like, he would, once again, your mom has died. I went through, who are these dogs? What is going on? And then all of a sudden, the birds start chirping, and there's light coming through the door. And I look at him, and I go, oh my God, it's Bird Box. It's funny now, but it wasn't at the time. So I was like, Sean, we cannot look at the light. Montezuma will kill us. He is going to take us. He's like, there's no Montezuma. I'm like, yes, he is. You told me he's inside me, and that's the reason I'm going through what I'm going through. He's like, I started taking pictures off the walls and gonna tell him I was gonna throw it at him if he didn't get away from me, because at this point, nothing Sean is saying is making sense in my head. So I'm stuck in a room with Sean. He will not let me leave, keep in mind, because it's the middle of the night.
Friday morning, we eventually get out, have breakfast, and we try to go.
I don't remember any of this.
We go to the pool. He says, I'm not feeling well. We got to go back to the room. Okay.
I don't remember any of this.
We go back to the room. We're in the room for hours, him asking question after question after question, trying to figure out what's going on, and I had answered everything.
How many times did you tell me my mom's died and then I went off?
So many times.
And I would die. And so finally I got to the point of...
We went back out to the pool again.
We went back out to the pool. But
right
when I go out to the pool, I would say stuff that Sean's like, you cannot say that to people. Like, I'd be like, don't get on the plane. You're going to get flown into a building. And he'd be like, no, don't say that. And I'm like, why doesn't he want me to say anything? And then I would be like, I just want to get back. I'm so excited to get back to the bank job. And he's like, you don't work at the bank anymore. And I was like, what? He's like, you don't work at the bank. And I was like, yes, I do. I work at a bank. And he's like, no, you don't. At this point, guys, my entire timeline, I didn't know what was past, current, and then for a moment, I thought I could see into the future. So he's like, at this point, he's like, something is wrong and I cannot figure it out. Jessica knows something. No, not yet. No, that's it. I get back to the room and I'm like, he is going to hurt me. He is going to hurt me, right? Because in my mind, he is taking me back to his room. None of his answers. He's telling me my mom's dead. I know she's not dead. He won't. He doesn't believe the bird box is a real thing. He doesn't believe there's a monster in the room. So to me, he's the enemy. I finally look. We're in the room, you guys, and everyone's outside. The birds are chirping. And I said, Sean, the only way we can end this cycle like they did in Bird Box is to kill ourselves. And I'm not laughing because suicide is not a good thing. And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, that's the only way we end it. I said, Montezuma's doing this to us. I don't know why. I'm jumping off the balcony. And he kind of laughed thinking he's not serious until I ran to the balcony and he had to pull me back with my shirt. And he grabs me like this and he sits me down in the chair and he yelled at me. And I was like, I did not yell. I was still very
What
did you say?
I've never yelled at you.
But what did you say?
I said, damn it, listen to me.
Oh, that's what he said.
You are not doing that. You do not do that. You don't do that.
Okay. So at this point, I'm like, he is yelling at me. And I was like, but Sean, this happened. And he's like, Kenny, that happened in your past. Your mom died in your past. Maya died. She is not at home. So he's trying to explain my reality. So now everything's confusing. And so I'm thinking he's the enemy at this point. He is going to hurt me. I need to get away from him. And he was like, you've worked through all of this with your mom. We went to counseling. I have never said this publicly, so I will say it publicly, and I'm not doing this for any sympathy, but when I was a child, I was molested, and I worked through that and all this stuff. And so I am like thinking right now, Sean is all of that. He killed my mom. He won't let me out of this cycle. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I said, and I know you are molesting everyone. You're molesting me. You're molesting those people. And he is like, at this point, he literally is like, what?
You're going, now he's gone off the deep end. Now it's way deep. Oh, my goodness.
Like way deep. I didn't know who my nieces were. I didn't know who my nephews were. He had explained to him they were pregnant. And then he goes, Kenny.
Who had the baby, by the way?
Yes, he is trying to explain to me, you are okay. And I'm like, I'm not okay. My mom is dead. I don't know what's going on. I have to go back to work like this at a bank, and you know how banks are about getting over the border. And he's like, you don't work at the bank. And I was like, Sean, I have to make money somehow. And he goes, you make money doing chocolate couture. And then...
Don't get this.
Okay.
I work at a bank because he kept saying this.
I kept seeing this, and I was like,
logo.
That's Washington Trust. I work at the bank. And he's like, you work for Choc Couture. So then I was like, I own Choc Couture?
Yeah.
No, you don't own Choc Couture, but you work. And I was like, if I don't work for them, how do I make money from them? How do I make money from Cricut? How do I make money? And he had explained everything to me, you guys. What I did at Choc Couture, where the rankings were, all this stuff. And all of a sudden I go, I need to talk to Allie. I need to talk to Allie. Well, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, right? And you're like, you cannot call Allie. It's too early. I said, I need to talk to her. Because at this point, I think he's the devil. And he won't let me call Allie. He won't let me call Jazzy. And all of a sudden I said, can I call Jessica? And he was like, Kenny, it's so early. It's so early. But finally he says, fine. Because I'm like, at this point, like telling him, I'm calling the cops on him. I want to go to a hospital. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going through all of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm crying because every 5 seconds, in my mind, it seemed a lot longer. But I would literally, as soon as he would calm me down and get me to the point of, your mom's passed, all this stuff, you work at Choc Couture, just like that, it would all go away again. And I would look at him and I would say, what is happening? And he would go, oh God. You're here on an incentive trip. And I said, no, that was on the cruise. That was the password. He would have to explain the entire timeline again. Where's my mom? She passed away. I would cry. Like it was this non-ending cycle. And he didn't want to call Alex. So it was in the middle of the night. Didn't want to call Jazzy. So he tries to go back to bed because he's had like an hour of sleep. I cannot sleep. And I am constantly just like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what's going on. So I get my phone. I could not understand anything. Jazzy had made her last text to me was, Ken, your road's so bad, I almost had a heart attack. So I woke him up crying. Jazzy had a heart attack. She's dying. So many, there's a monster outside. Every time I heard even the slightest ting, I would run to the door and say, there's monsters out there, we can't go there, right? So when we got to the resort, the elevator going up did a little jouncy like this. So I wouldn't go on elevators because I was afraid there was going to be a plane that crashed into it. Like,
or we'd fall all the way down to the bottom.
Or we'd fall all the way to the bottom. And
which you can't do.
So every time we would go up, down, or downstairs, we would have to go this way. Well, at 6 o'clock in the morning, about 7,
I get Miss Jessica, and she finally comes.
How can Ken remember all this? Because once Ken figures out what's going on, it all comes back to you.
Even though he may have not remembered, your mind still records literally everything you're doing. Regardless.
So he literally sits there and comes to me and he goes, "You're acting irrational. You are acting off of it. You're saying things that don't real. You're hallucinating. And then he's like, wait, you're
skipping a spot."
Oh.
So I get a hold of Jessica. Jessica, yeah, I'll be there. She's running a little slow too.
Keep in mind though, when he says like, "Oh, Jessica, she's coming," I'm literally, while he's trying to figure this out, I'm gonna tell her you're a molester, a murderer, that you're the reason that the towers came down. I'm gonna tell her everything. You're going to jail. And so of course he's like, you cannot say these things.
So he then goes into the bathroom, and the next thing I hear is like, "Oh my God, I haven't taken my meds." Because he's looking at them. He literally had a mirror because he saw them.
There's a mirror because you guys got to remember during the night, the lights are off. And Sean had taken all of my meds and put them in the safe with our passports. And I had never taken them out because we moved when I was already out of it. So I forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they, I kept opening the safe and Sean's like, get out of the safe because I kept taking stuff. The next thing he knows, I start flushing stuff. And he's like, what are you doing in there? And I said, I don't know who these meds are. There's weird names on them. I'm flushing them. And I think that's when it clicked for you.
You clicked, but you did say, why do I have so many of these? I should have less than you. Literally.
I said, why do I?
Why do I have so many of these? And then I'm looking at you and going, holy crap. You have not been taking your meds. and by that second, Jessica comes in the room and I'm saying, yeah, he's not on his meds.
And so she's like, he's not on his meds. Well, you guys, I'm in full paranoid mode now.
Oh,
I'm looking at my medication bottles. They don't make sense. And I'm like, why is there different doctors' names on this? And he goes, Kenny, you go to different doctors because we live in a world where you can't go to one doctor anymore. You have to go to specialists. And I'm like, you are lying to me. And I'm yelling at him. He tries to get me to write down. He goes, tell me what your medication schedule is. And in my mind, I'm like, screw him. I'm going to mix him up because he's the enemy. And he's like, Jessica's like, all Jessica said is, we need to figure this out because this is not good. He is paranoid. Something is happening. He needs, and she was like, what meds does he take? And Sean goes,
I know what he takes, but I don't know what time and what dose. But I know what he takes because I have to.
So he's like, when's the last time you taken your meds? And I was like, and I told him, and he's figuring out, he goes, he has not been on his meds for 2.5 days or 3.
Almost 3 days.
He was like, and so Jessica goes, well, what kind of meds is he on? And he starts labeling the meds, and she literally goes, that is not good. This is not good. You cannot just stop taking these. Yes. Not only just one, you cannot stop taking all of them. And I stopped taking
all of them.
All of them, you guys. Every single med I was on.
So your chemical balance when you're on meds is here, and now it's down to here. None. There are none. They were completely gone.
And so
that's what happens.
He tried then giving it to me. I threw him at him.
Yeah. You threw him just before she got here.
She got there.
Yeah.
So then they had to get me calmed down because I didn't believe her. And at this point, every time he leaves me, I look at Jessica and I said, Sean is going to kill all of us. We need to leave this hotel room, but you need to put on a blindfold because Montezuma will kill you. And that's when she goes, Sean, we need to figure this out now. And the next thing, what did she do after I said all that stuff? And she was like, something is not right with him.
Well, we kind of figured that that's what's wrong because some of your medications, when you don't take it for that many days, cold turkey, yes, you become
hallucinate and stuff,
paranoia, blah blah. The list goes on, and every sign and symptom was right there. It's like we've got to get all. So we sat there and I figured out at least to get a few things going. He took them. I got the next dose ready. We got to the pool for a little bit, but then eventually.
So at this point, I get pissed because I am like,
oh, you're right, Nikki. That's what he was in.
What?
Withdrawals.
Oh, but here's the deal.
Not the normal withdrawal that I'm used to.
Correct. So here's what happened, and now it all came back to me as soon as I got. I'll finish the story and then I'll piece that together. But I got pissed at him. So I'm in withdrawals. I don't know I'm in withdrawals. I don't want to take my meds because I think this is all a farce. And so he is like, you need to take your meds. Well, you can't just take meds and be okay again. Like, it's going to take a while for that to enter your system, right? They give me a Xanax, I think, to calm me down because I was so paranoid. I thought zombies were real. I thought vampires were real. We could not leave the room because if we left our room, I literally, when he gave me the Xanax, when I left my room the first time, like, he's holding my hand, and I'm like, and I would look at each room, and the lady would speak Spanish, and I was like, I'm done, and I would go back to the room. So anyways, he's thinking, okay, I'm starting to get meds. He now has a timer where it's like, but he cannot get me out of the room because at this point, I am like so confused what's happening. And now all of a sudden, he's like, we told everyone that you're chemically imbalanced. I was embarrassed beyond belief. I didn't know what was real, what was not real. So is he telling me a lie? Is he not telling me a lie? And then everything started coming back to reality. And it was like, you guys, the entire time I was out of it, I thought my mom was alive. And he wouldn't let me see her, so that it was like that memory came back of, nope, she's gone. Then a complete meltdown, and he had to take care of that. Yeah. Maya really is gone. Take care of that. Like, it was just... And so, like, even when I went out in public, I was still so confused on what was going on. What was real? What wasn't real? And that first day was bad. Like, he had to force me to do stuff. We get to a bus. It's a double-decker bus. And I didn't want to leave that point because I was so confused on what was happening with my surroundings. I didn't know the hotel room I was at. And he goes, we're going back down to the beach or something. I was like, I don't want to go back there. That's where the people are. And you guys got to remember that these ravers are still there. And these guys that know what's going on are sharing horrible stories of what's happening. These ravers are doing things that they should not be doing. And taking. And so I think that's reality too. That's happening to us. Poor son. You guys have no idea. So I'm sitting there. We missed the bus because he's like, you need to get changed for dinner. And I had to wear pants. I didn't want to wear pants. I didn't want to leave the room, but he wanted to go to dinner because we should. I'm yelling at him.
Like Jessica said, you ate like a bird.
I didn't eat anything up to that point. Nothing, right?
Here and a bite there, and that was
and so they were really worried. Why are you not eating? Why are you not drinking? And I was like a zombie. And so when they finally figured out my meds, here's the problem with meds if you don't take meds. If you're out of them and you go into withdrawals, you get anxious, your heart races and stuff. As soon as they give it to you, your body starts adjusting to it, but it's so weird. You don't know it's reality. That's all I can explain to people is I don't know it's real. I can't figure out my memories. I had no idea of the timeline. So all of a sudden, Sean's like, today is Friday, or no, Saturday, right? No, Friday. We leave in 2 days. And I'm like, I've missed the entire trip. And he couldn't explain to me, you missed it because you were chemically imbalanced, which all I heard was, you're crazy. You're crazy. And so I still don't think he is all there, right? I'm afraid I'm in Mexico, that I'm going, because I watched Hostel. Never watched that movie because you go to Mexico and they eat you. But anyways, Europe, whatever. I don't care. So I get to the bus and they're like, I'm already in pants. I don't want to be going. And Sean goes, and all of our friends are already at the restaurant. We're late because of me because I want to get pants on. But Jessica went, I don't know why she was late. Why was she waiting for us or? No, they were all waiting for us to come upstairs. So I see a bus and I go, nope, and go the other way. Everyone gets on the bus except for Jessica because she's like, why is he not getting on the bus? And Sean's like, I don't know. And they're like, we'll get the next bus. They take off. The next bus comes up. And there's all these people on the bus. And I literally, when I say I didn't want to get on a bus.
Didn't want to get on a bus.
I flipped out. I don't want to get on it. We're going to die. Everyone on there is going to die. They're going to blow it up. They're going to do this. To where Jessica had to be like, Kenny, you cannot say these things out loud. Sean will go to jail. Because at that point, I'm just yelling everything. Sean is going to kill everyone. Sean is going to, what was I yelling?
I wasn't paying attention at that point. I don't know.
Because he was so like, I don't. And then of course Jessica's like, did he take his meds? And he's like, he did, but it takes a while for them to get back to normal. Yeah. So he's like, there's nothing we can do. So then what do I hear? Well, if I take a whole bunch of meds. So every time Sean didn't look, I would just go take meds.
No, I didn't know that. Until after he told me. I'm like, no, you should not.
So anyways, freak out to where everyone is like, what is wrong with Kenny? What is happening with Kenny? I thought real life events. There was a club across the way. It's like, we can't go to the club. They're going to shoot us there because they shoot gay people in clubs. And Sean's like, oh my God. He was like, and so people would be like, what's wrong with him? He's like, he literally doesn't understand reality from past and what's going on. I told Mandy, I was sitting next to Mandy during dinner, and I just watched a documentary about how you shouldn't eat certain foods because the chemicals give you imbalances. And I look over at Mandy out of nowhere, and I was like, how's it going? She's like, I was like, do you miss your dogs? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you really shouldn't eat your babies. And she was like,
what?
What? Yeah. It was, you guys. So finally, last night we're there. They take us to a restaurant. I once again am not eating. And then Sean's like, you just need to go to bed. Another bad night for this guy because like things are coming too.
I got a couple extra hours on.
But I'm still like, Sean, explain again to me what is happening. And so at this point, instead of being like explaining what all the craziness, he's just trying to reassure me, you will be fine. Everything is fine. Once your medication kicks in, you'll be fine. I would go to bed, wake up. I don't feel right. What's going on? What is happening? Finally, during that night, I think my chemicals realigned, and literally Sunday morning, which is the day we're leaving, I woke up and he was like, "Hi, Kenny, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm fine, how are you?" And he's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "We're in Cancun for Chocolate Tour incentive trip." He like looks at me and he's like, "Where are we going home?" "Spokane, where are you going?" And he's like, "How are we gonna get through there?" And I'm like, "We're gonna go through security." And he's like, keeps looking at me, asking me all these questions. I'm like, "Why are you asking these questions?" And finally, I think he was like, "Oh, thank God you're back." And I go out and I explained to him, I said, "Sean, here's what's happened." And everything started
lining up,
remembering and just like clicking. And he says, "What meds do you take?" And I listed all the meds I took and what meds I didn't take and what meds he hadn't given me yet. He goes, "We need to go back to the hotel room. You need to take this. You need to take this." And then all of a sudden, within an hour, everything started. And every time I go to people, this is how they would treat me. "Hi, Kenny. How are you?" And I'd be like, "I'm fine. How are you?" Yeah. "I'm starving. I want some bacon." And all of them were like, "Oh, thank God he's back."
Yeah. Had to apologize. He said, "Don't worry about it."
I apologized to I was so embarrassed, you guys. I was so embarrassed. And I started going through my phone and realizing people were texting me and messaging me, but I wasn't messaging to them back. "Are you okay? Why are you not posting about your trip like you normally do? Why are you not doing this?" And I was like, "Sean, did I have my phone?" He goes, he goes, "Kenny, when you had your phone, you thought you owned iTunes." Like, he's like, "I had to explain to you that you own a phone, but you do not own iTunes. You do not own this. You do not own Chocolate Tour." There was a minute I thought I owned Spanx. And he was like, "You don't own Spanx, the company." Like, he had to explain to me everything. And then I was just sad because I missed an entire trip. I literally had barely any memories. Because, like, when we would go to the pool, it was like, what, 15, 20 minutes?
On that one time. But the other ones, we stayed the whole 6, 7, 8 hours.
But that was the first day where I wasn't taking my meds, so I was still lucid and I knew what was going on. Yeah. You guys. And so I told Sean, I was like, "I don't know what I do with you guys, all of you," because I said to him, I said, "They're all going to want to know how the trip was, and I can't lie and just say it was great, because they're going to be like, oh, it wasn't great. And I don't want you guys to think it was Chocolate Tours. It was not them at all. They went above and beyond and got us an amazing room when things were wrong and got us..."
As Christine put it, she says, typically when a company like ours goes down there, because they did a site visit 6, 7 months prior to going, she went down there, the place was great, the food was great, everything was nice, and the hotel should say, on your dates you're here, they should have said, there's going to be this gigantic concert going on, do you still want to stay on these dates? That's what they should have told them. That should be common courtesy. Nope, they just want to make sure we were there. So they got our money. So that's why they didn't say anything.
I felt so bad.
Because more likely, Christine probably would have said,
"No, thank you.
Problem, we'll pick other dates or pick another place."
Yeah. So I see a question, I want to answer it. So what caused you to get out of sync with your meds? So what had happened is I don't take edibles very often. And when I do, I take them in very small amounts. So I am not an experienced... It's not an illicit drug here. That's a drug you can take here, but I don't regularly take them. So that night that we got back from shopping, I was already dehydrated. We hadn't eaten anything, so we didn't want to eat down there. I took a gummy to help with my pain. It didn't help, so I took another one. I might have taken another one, and at that point, I don't remember much because I was drinking on top of it. My fault. Normally, if I miss a med, and many of you in here can attest to this, if you miss usually one dose of meds, you know something's wrong. You can feel it. You can feel it in your body. You have a headache. You are crabby. You're run down. You have joint pain. The marijuana edibles I took masked all of that. The only thing it did not mask was my mental state. So what happened is because my mental state, that time where I kept telling Sean, what is happening? He thought Ken's just high. He took too many edibles because he was in pain. He's high. But in reality, I had already started the withdrawal process. But normally my trigger would be, oh my gosh, I forgot my meds. I can feel it.
And he immediately tells me, I missed a med. I miss something. I feel my withdrawals are starting. I know exactly when he says that. I know what it is.
But withdrawals on antidepressants are very, very bad. And I must not have known that. So he knows, and he'll be like, go take it. He's not in charge of my meds. He has no idea what he's taking. But at that point, he was just like, oh, so he didn't know I wasn't taking my meds, and I wasn't taking my meds because my brain didn't comprehend that you missed them.
And you typically, when you have your meds, you usually hide it. You know, you're very secretive, so people don't see that you're doing it.
Because I'm ashamed. I know everyone takes meds, but I still get very ashamed that I have to take antidepressants. And I get ashamed that I have to take gabapentin for my pain. Just because then people are like, we live in a society where it's an opioid crisis. And so everyone judges you now. Oh, you're misusing drugs or you're misusing pain, even though they're not pain pills, but still in my mind they are. And so I hate it. I get very ashamed is the word.
Yeah, but
I don't like the fact that, you know, I take antidepressant stuff. And so I hide it from people and I don't show it. So he just naturally thinks.
Sometimes I never see he gets up and don't even know that he did that.
Mm-hmm.
Thought they were I thought maybe they were in the backpack because we always go with the backpacks, thinking because usually that's where we're going to be sitting. Gets up, takes them.
And that's how I knew I didn't take them. Is I went to when I wasn't feeling right, and Jessica came and gave me a Xanax to calm me down. Things started coming to, and I went to the backpack and I said, I bet you I haven't taken my drugs. And they weren't there. And Sean's like, I don't know where they are. And he goes, oh, they're in the safe. I don't know. He goes, I thought you were just going in there getting them. And that's when I said, oh my God, Sean. They've been in safe how long? He goes, 2 days. And I said, have you seen me taking any? Nope. No. And I said,
I usually don't.
And so he opened them up and he counted them. He's like, oh yeah, there's this many. And I said, I only brought enough down for this trip because you told me to leave them behind. And he goes, oh my God. Yeah, he goes, you didn't bring them all down? I said, no, because you told me we're going to Mexico not to do that. And he goes, so how many should you have? And I said, if today is Friday, I should only have 2 more of these pills left. And he goes, there's 7 here, Kenny. And I was like, that means I've missed 5 doses. And that's when it all... He started counting all my pills and he goes, you have not taken anything.
By the way, what I'm drinking is a Japanese barley whiskey or liquor with mango and a little soda.
Thank you, Angela. So Angela says when people are doing her insulin, they freak out. It's so true. So 2 things came of this trip that you guys are going to see a difference. Number 1, we are getting way healthier. A lot of the medication I'm on, I think if I was a little bit lighter, I would have less weight on me. I wouldn't have the inflammation. I wouldn't have the pain.
And the things we've been reading and seeing, we are doing some changes.
We're doing some changes because a lot of the stuff we're eating, even though I used to make fun of it, dyes and artificial flavorings and stuff, I do think they're affecting my lifestyle.
One of your pills itself, the yellow dye, has been causing problems with a lot of people, so they stopped making that, and you got to get rid of it.
But it was download Round. I'll have to watch that. It literally
Round is a thing on your phone that tells you when to take your meds.
So this always happens. So no, that's a great question, Deborah. No, so Chalk Couture, this resort by itself normally would be fine.
The grounds were absolutely
beautiful,
5-star, gorgeous.
What happened?
Beautiful.
There was no drugs being offered anywhere to us.
No.
None. There was a lot of ravers doing drugs, and
sure
we
if you wanted to find it, you could.
Yes, we wanted to get away from them, and that's what Chalk Couture did. They said, "We get you. We didn't know this was happening. Let's get you guys to different parts."
So if you guys don't know who Bass Nectar is, the Glitch Mob, so on and so forth, all these other bands. Super heavy bassed music. They had so many basses down there, you could feel it no matter how far you were from just.
I wish we had some of the pictures. They had huge lights up in the sky. There was it's not so no, this wasn't anything to do with what I took there. It would just happen to be a happy coincidence. I
think it's in here.
What documentary was I watching? I don't know.
There was a couple.
Yeah. So no, it wouldn't have even mattered if this was happening or not. So I shouldn't even said that. So these people that were there, these people for Base Dector and stuff, the reason I brought them into the story is that's what confused me. Because normally you would go there and we'd stay in the same hotel room and I would have had a point of reference of this is my normal, I'm in this room and stuff. What ended up happening in my case was we moved rooms 2 days into our trip, right?
Yes, yes.
So it threw my mind that was already, like I missed one dose of meds into this alternate reality. It was, oh, here you go. That's what it looked like.
So that's some of the light shows from where we were.
That's the beach. So imagine, that's how bright the lights were. Imagine the base. And imagine 5,000 people out of their mind walking around. Oh, there's Sean.
So there is a video of this. I'm waiting to get it downloaded from somebody, but
yeah. So anyways, oh, that's so funny you say something about turmeric. That's something else for changing stuff. So it was just taking turmeric for inflammation and stuff. And stuff. It just was one of those things where when I came to and I was on my meds, to be funny, I literally said, you guys, the Hangover movie makes complete sense to me. Like when you were off on your meds, you literally think the things you are thinking, which are things that you've watched. All of my paranoia was from documentaries or shows I had watched on Netflix. We had watched, I'm obsessed with watching documentaries. So we watched a ton of stuff on 9/11 and how that came to and real events. Mm-hmm. We watched stuff on you shouldn't eat animals. So then I stopped eating because I was afraid I was going to eat animal. Like, all of these paranoias I had, like the Bird Box. Bird Box I should have never watched because when I was paranoid, I thought that was real. Mm-hmm. And it was like I had to jump off a balcony because that would end all of this. Like, it was the craziest us. And I know that you guys were all reaching out and stuff. And
it's just a good way to let you know.
Yeah. And when I saw that comment and stuff, the reason I didn't want to share this story is I don't want anyone to think, my whole point of this entire thing was for me to realize how lucky I am. And that I have Sean, because if Sean and Jessica weren't there, I probably would not be standing here. And I mean that in all seriousness. Yep. And everything came to, like, we have to be happy and share our lives. And for me, it was...
Oh, Jessica.
Thank you. For me, it was... I felt horrible I didn't share the trip with you guys. I felt horrible that people helped me get there and I didn't share one photo. I felt horrible that as soon as I get back, I told Sean, we have to do these videos and we have to make some card videos and we have to make Cricut videos and we have to make all these videos because I want to make sure everyone's happy. I have to deliver for my Patreon. I have to do all of that. And I felt horrible because I was so out of control. I didn't know it. Mm-hmm. And
but now we're back to normal. Everything's normal. They're going so fast and we can't read them.
I know, I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think you guys realize it. I don't know how to say this in a nice way, but I don't think you guys realize what I sacrificed. And I'm not. That makes me sound like they're forcing me to do it. Everything I do is for this channel. Mm-hmm. And for...
Boy, if you guys only know.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And stuff. And so it was very scary. It was...
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. You guys really don't... I'm sorry. That just really upset me because you guys... The reason why that upsets me is if it was not for Chalk Couture, I would not be living my dream. Mm-hmm. So when someone said that about Chalk Couture, I did get defensive because it is not their fault. And that's why I said in the beginning, this Cancun nightmare is not their fault. And people, and stuff. And when I saw that, it just triggered me. I'm sorry.
Literally, I would think maybe other companies probably would have done nothing and just say, okay, this is what it is. But Christine went out of her way to make things better to the best of her ability, and she came through flying colors. Absolutely did. I mean, she didn't have to do that, but she wanted to make sure that we all had a much better time than it was the first 2 nights, and it really did.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Why are you crying?
Because it made me teary.
Why are you crying?
I don't know.
I don't know why you're crying.
It's thanks, Mona.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
It's just you know, like when you have this moment.
Thanks, Jasmine.
You know when you have that moment of, it wasn't a moment of clarity, but I was sitting there with Sean when I was coming out of all of this and realizing the important stuff, and it made me realize how much stuff I pushed to the... I am not taking care of myself or my relationships. And that's kind of what it got me. You know, you go through these tough things and stuff, and what it meant to me was... And this is where I get emotional, and that's why I got upset with that comment. My whole point I was making for this video that took me forever was every day I do something for you guys or for the channel, I always think,
thanks, Jennifer.
Am I making people happy? Am I doing this? For the first time in a long time on this trip, I was not in a good place. And I could not find an escape. I could not get myself out of this personal nightmare. And there's so many days that Sean and I get messages that say, please don't stop your funny videos. Please don't stop your Ken and Sean show, which we did. Please don't stop doing this because you give me that escape. And it finally clicked for me. Like, I've never realized that we could do that for people. I never realized we could be an escape for someone.
Yeah, when we get those texts or emails or something that's saying that I had a super bad day, saw you brought light into my life for that day, how much that just makes us want to smile and sing. I'm so happy we do what we do.
Yes.
That's great.
But anyways, when I see comments like that about...
Yeah, and it's one person, so it was just one. It was the only one person.
I know, but it's just... I would never, ever, ever want someone to think that of this trip or anything else. Yeah. It was just me. Everyone else had a great time.
Yeah, everyone else had a great time.
You don't owe anyone an explanation. Oh, you're so sweet. So anyways, the good news is because of this and stuff, I finally told Sean, oh my God, I need help. We have Jasmine.
Thanks, Jasmine, which she's in here. Which
is why when we were there sitting down, he's like, you need to get her a computer. So when you go on vacation, she can take care of that. And that's why.
So now Jazzy has a computer.
She has a computer.
You forgot to take it home.
It's because it was updating.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to take care of our health. We're going to do a lot of changes and stuff like that. These pants don't fit me very well.
Oh, these are tight pants.
Yeah. And we're gonna, I think we're gonna, you guys are gonna see a lot of different stuff with our channels. I think that was the thing I struggled with was down there. I got a lot of comments. Why don't you do lives anymore? Why don't you do card videos anymore? Why don't you do this? And I went to Sean and I was like, we got to do this and we got to do this and we got to do this and we got to do this. And Sean's like, you need to slow down, you know, because
you have to take a breath. Take a breath. Just
because he started. I know I have a meeting too. Sorry, Jessica. I'll be there in a sec. Sean started taking away my phone at night because I wouldn't stop being on my phone. And
he said, let's watch TV. Well, he doesn't watch TV. He watches his phone.
Yeah.
He watches a third of maybe a show.
Yeah. So anyways, sorry I went off a little thing there. I think that upset me, you guys, and I'm so sorry. If that person's here, I'm sorry. But it just upset me because Chalk Couture did so much for us on this trip.
So much.
They went above and beyond to make sure we were happy and taken care of and stuff. And then Sean went above and beyond and did amazing things. Yeah, I know. Don't give yourself away and stuff. Well, the good news is that things will get a lot better because we are working towards, we're trying to figure out benefits, but hopefully within the next month, Sean will be here full time with me.
Yep.
So that's what we're
actually see me during the daytime.
So that's why I keep telling people, hey, use our links and do this stuff because we're very close. And once we can make that a reality, and figure out medical benefits, he can join full time here with us and stuff like that. So
Jasmine will be my boss.
Jasmine will be our boss because I've quickly discovered that me and Sean cannot take orders from each other. It does not work. So Jasmine will be our in-between something and stuff. So I'm excited. I am gonna, definitely still be doing a ton of stuff, but we're gonna take time for our health. We're gonna take time for getting back to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What else? I feel like I'm in a triggered state right now, so I can't talk.
Which is unusual for him.
I usually let ignorers hate me, but I don't know why I let that.
I used to be the third wheel. Allie, you're the third wheel regardless. And we love you for that.
You're so funny. Let's see here.
The mediator.
I'll be the mediator. You need
Very
to.
cute.
Well, here's what's funny. Inga says you need a vacation from your vacation do-over. Normally on our vacations, I push Sean to go. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's do this. I never just sit and do nothing. And I left this vacation.
Stop and smell the flower. No.
I left this vacation and I remember being on the plane because Sean medicated me on the plane because even though I was fully medicated at that point, there were still slivers of moments where I was so at that point, how would you say it? I was so paranoid and stuff. If he wasn't by my side, I freaked out. So if he disappeared, I freaked out and
you were trying to get some. This was the day we were trying to check out. I was trying to figure out what time we're leaving. We kind of knew, but I wanted to get an absolutely. So I'm in one other room and he's over here, and I'm sitting there doing thing, and all of a sudden my thing goes buzz, looking. Oh, he needs me. So I grab my phone because you can't do it on your watch, and I could see a whole list going. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And I said, literally, I saw that, picked up the phone, went, and the signal down in Mexico was horrible. So there was a delay by the time I got it. And it was hard
and so by that time, I was like almost full panic mode. And I was like, where are you? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. So basically on the way home, he medicated me. And I slept, which I never sleep on a plane.
You never sleep on a plane.
And so when I got home...
I'm sure your back was great when we got home.
I haven't had any pain.
Wow, you're lucky. My butt was sore, my back was sore.
But that's probably because I wasn't on meds for 5 days and then I was taking all my meds. So your body was like... Probably because I built up a tolerance. But I called Jasmine right away because Jasmine, you guys, she was so worried. She's like, where are you? Why are you not posting? You usually do this. Even Allie was worried and she was like, I just thought you were kind of ignoring me because I always bug you. And I told both of them the story and both of them were like, why didn't you let Shawnee call us? And I was like, I tried to and he wouldn't let me and he was blocking me and stuff. And
that'll never happen again, by the way.
Yes. They're like, we could have said to him like right away, like it sounds like he's off his bed.
This will never happen again anyway. So.
Yes. But anyways, because seriously, you guys, you want to hear what's so funny? I get home, we're on the first date, and Sean's sitting there, and he's like, okay. And he literally had me break down all of my meds. He took a photo of them. The time I take them, he's like, this will never happen again. He goes, because...
We go on a trip, I'll be pulling out my timer, making sure my timer goes off.
But I now get when people say like they're bipolar and they just go off their meds, like when they go crazy. I've never understood that. I get that now. When people go off their meds.
Yeah, it happens.
I need my fan. I'm hot. I bought fans.
He bought one and says, oh God, I love it. I need more.
Where are they all go?
Right around the corner. Right around the corner.
Look.
All right, Maria, I will definitely do that.
What?
You. Get the one called, get the round app Sean. Yes, I will get that. These are nice, even though they're cheapy, but man, they sure work nice.
I know, aren't they nice for your little things and stuff? So, anyways, you guys, my whole point.
Very cool.
My whole point was, I wanted to tell you guys so you guys knew and stuff like that. I've never been more excited to be home and be with it. But that's kind of what, it even took me a couple of days to get back to normal and stuff. I'm back to normal.
Yep, totally normal again.
Sean didn't want me to share the story, to be honest. He was like, are you sure you want to? Blah, 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 blah. But here's the deal. You guys would have all been like, how was Cancun? How was this? And if I would have been like, it sucked, you would have been like, well, why did Chocolate Tour sit in on a sucky trip? And no. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
What else do you guys have?
Not to say if I was to ever go back to Cancun, I would just go somewhere else. That's all.
You really didn't like the resort? I don't remember it.
I would stay at the Palace.
The Palace was so nice.
And I tell you, when you get the Palace, you get the Gold Band, you can eat anywhere, and you can get all in a nice place. That was nice. That if we were to all go to the Palace that day, it would have been a whole nother story. It would have been a whole different story.
So here's the deal. I seriously kind of felt like we were in the Hunger Games because there's all these resorts, and each resort got a little nicer, a little nicer, a little nicer, and I was like, we're like in the Palace, which is where the nice part in the Hunger Games were, and the beach where all the ravers are not in the good part. And the only way they get up to this part is if they're chosen. It was very
I want to say the rooms down there were basically what I would probably expect for a Mexican style
hacienda. Yeah.
It was fine. It wasn't like it was bad.
Oh, they each had a theme.
I don't think they have a theme.
Oh no?
No.
I think the beach was a beach theme. The palace was a palace theme. The tropical probably had a tropical theme.
We didn't go there, so I don't know. But you could definitely tell the difference from the beach to the palace. I mean, obviously they spent a lot more money in the palace by using marble and really nice travertine tiles and nice fabrics and stuff, or they didn't do that at the Siser. So you can see that there is a difference between the two, but I would not say it wasn't a bad place. It just wasn't as nice as the palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyways, that's my story.
Yeah.
That's my Ken from the car.
I will hug him right now.
Oh, thanks, sweet pie. It felt like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any question thing? We will be live tomorrow. We're getting back to our live schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And that will probably change when Sean starts working here.
Yeah. Soon.
Ravers will scare the hell out of everyone. Here's the thing is we've never
actually some from Spokane.
Yeah,
because they were
we've never taken drugs. So I've never taken ecstasy. I've never taken like ever since we've been together. So I don't even know. Like it was just a whole other world. Seriously, ADHD meds. I literally. When do you plan on doing a cross-country tour? As soon as Sean can go. We have to find medical benefits is what it is.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
That close.
That close. And we're so close to 100,000 subscribers. So.
Yes, so close. Tell your friends and tell your friends and tell your friends. Subscribe.
Bye, Allie. I love you.
Bye, Miss Allie.
Yes, tell your friends to subscribe, and we gotta go so we can eat dinner and I can get on a call, but thank you guys so much. Thank you for being there for my little meltdown.
Yeah, you're here. I'm here for you always.
Oh, did you hear that, guys?
Always there for you.
And I will see you guys tomorrow during my life.
Yay!
Bye, everyone.
Where's the end?
Well, it's on the phone, Sean.
Oh, it's on the phone.
We're just looking on the computer.
We're watching.